Okay, so I've checked a lot of comments in the fucking YouTube section said, oh, WA is useless compared to Linux. Fuck, right, WA is useless. It has no apps. Everything has the wrong translation. Except 2 days ago, I run this Rufus ARM64. Right, the Rufus is a native ARM version. OBS isn't, right? OBS is one issue, right? The OBS is a cleared an issue, but Rufus isn't, right? You tell me it's useless. You don't have. I don't think Rufus OBS provides Linux version either, right? Rufus ARM64. Okay, this is an ARM version of Rufus, and I installed Linux Windows on a x86 machine that has an ARM machine that has no UEFI. Windows 11, okay, 24H2. You tell me it's useless, okay? When I do this, okay, you tell me this is worse than Chromebook. What are you talking about? Chromebook is a walled garden. The permission management system is exactly preventing you from doing things like that, or not, at least not doing it either. Like last time I tried to put an entire Linux distribution files on my Raspberry. I couldn't do that with my phones because Android is locked down. As long as I put it as the SD card in it, it will automatically do formatting. It doesn't care about your choice on choosing even a file format. You cannot do anything to it. There's no permission. Oh, macOS. People say, oh, macOS. I have that I'm for Mac Mini, and I find it the C+ standard library. Just magic, it doesn't work. Sure, you have a lot of workarounds like using link, what is it called? Oh, RPath, that kind of bullshit. And I have another x86-64 Linux machine here, just my desktop, because I use the compilation as a still booting, right? I'm just still booting Windows. But you told me it's useless. How do I do that? I mean, I may be able to do that using make format or something. But it's just too painful, right? And also, how do you work around with no UEFI, with no TPM 2.0? And even with TPM 2.0, I frequently encounter issues with it. Okay, just trying to install Windows on it, it's very hard to do so. Quite opposite to what people think. It is very hard to install Windows. In the Windows Pro, it just install Windows normal, like on even on Microsoft's own service. Even you do have TPM 2.0, right? Which is ridiculous. But with Rufus, you can bypass those things, right? You bypass those things, right? You just bypass it, right? You just, for example, I can just bypass this one, right? I can bypass UEFI check and bypass BIOS. I can use fixed full BIOS, like BIOS thing. Which is on ARM version. This is Rufus ARM version. Okay, this is ARM version of Rufus. You told me it's useless. I don't know what you're even talking about, bro. I don't even understand what you're talking about. They can even allow you to bypass the. This is an ARM machine. I'm doing with x86. You tell me it's useless? Just you told me this is worse than the macOS. Then do that on macOS. Just do it on macOS. And we know Mac is not trying to restrict side loading too. I mean, the M4 Mac Mini would be the only Mac I will buy in my life. I won't buy the second one. I don't think I will do, because I'm just thinking of supporting something, also supporting Windows ARM. I want to run Windows applications on that with Wine on that Mac Mini. I want to know what's going on. But to say Windows ARM is useless, They have no idea what you're talking about. Now people can say, we have one, right? Why not just run Rufus 1.1? Try it. It doesn't work. It needs permissions. It needs the USB permissions, and those permissions doesn't really work. Okay, the Rufus just doesn't work on Linux. It still doesn't. It still doesn't in 2025. Okay, it doesn't work, and this is a Windows application. You basically have to run on Windows, and you won't even trust Linux because it needs permissions, right? Linux needs studio permission just to do those things. I know people who never tried fucking I don't think you want to use MX format. That is painful. Setting up BTR, I use BTRFS. It's just so painful to even do anything compared to ext4. But it has provides better compression, right? That's why people are using it nowadays. It's a more advanced thing, more advanced file system. The Rufus is just much easier to use. You don't have alternative because on Linux you cannot ship binaries. You cannot really ship binaries. The glibc breaks. Every Linux distribution disagrees. Even we will also have LVM libc in the future. Your application that runs today won't run on those distributions in the future. No. The world is moving away from GNU to LVM because GNU really sucks. GNU sucks also. Fucking Linux also sucks because we know that the drama. We know the drama they had. We know the drama how they put Linux rustling for Linux, which they shouldn't in the first place, in the kernel. Then they tell those Rust developers, "Hey, fuck you. We don't want this. We don't want your patches. This Asahi Linux, which is very important to, downstream to it." There's a bunch of fucking Linux fanboys here. I really want to see Linux to die, just like nowadays GCC is dying. It doesn't work on Surface. It doesn't work on Surface. The Linux Surface is still downstream. It's not in the upstream. It doesn't work for Apple Silicon either. It doesn't work on both Microsoft and Apple's flagship device. Even flagship devices don't work. That's how bad Linux is right now. If I were the first thing I would do is just to support those devices, right? And in fact, if you have a common target like that kind of device, it's actually quite easy to support because you have a common ground. All your work should be put on that. But you don't. But Linux never did that. Linux is still the old style fashion bullshit. And we have this Android phone, right? The Google Pixel phone. The fucking Linux distribution doesn't work on Google Pixel either. So what's the point? What's the point? Linux is a dead house. Linux is nothing more but a corporate bullshit right now. Just like everything you criticize about Windows, you cannot apply to Linux now. They're printing that bullshit web browser, which is Firefox, and Firefox even as they put everything in the snap like Ubuntu does. Ubuntu has this Amazon. They put even Amazon ads in the Ubuntu. That's just 10 years ago. It's not even today. No, they're just putting everything in the snap to the point I have to use Arch Linux right now. And the Arch Linux has its own issues, right? And Arch has its own issues. For example, its installation is still very hard. Even with Arch installed, it's still very hard. Sure, it's better than nothing. It's better than fucking Ubuntu does. But who uses it? Very few people are using it. So this argument is just incorrect, right? Now people can say, because we build everything ourselves, why Windows cannot? Sure, you can make the criticism, like I said last time, they don't have GCC. They don't have MySys, but Apple Silicon doesn't have that either. I tried Apple Silicon, I tried to upgrade the C++ for C++ fucking standard library, I couldn't. Although I find some workaround like using RPath or something. But that's not something most people could do. They don't understand. They really don't understand. People just do not understand. I built everything from south. I built it like this client. I built it on Linux machine, doing a Canadian compilation on it. Okay, which is that I built the Linux right here, LVM, my native IX for Windows GNU client. You won't have that choice on fucking Linux, okay? You don't. Yeah, but you don't have the choice on Mac. Oh sure, I have built that with Mac 2 days ago with my M4 Mac Mini, which is also I built. Both of them are running, not built on those machines. I won't even use Mac to build those things either. Don't tell me the bullshit you can do anything with building things on Mac. You cannot. You basically have used a Linux machine. The reason a lot of developers love Linux is they use it to build things. Not because the system is good. They built it because the fucking GNU bullshit was working on it. That's something desperately needs to change. LVM isn't doing enough change. Sure, it breaks something, like you can now use cloud to build it, that's a good sign. But the fucking auto tools build the ecosystem just so bullshit, like free desktop is complete bullshit. Okay? Linux is a bullshit. Android is also Linux, bro. You cannot say Linux, Android isn't Linux. Android is just sandbox, walled garden Linux, and we think how Google is doing the monopoly by blocking users for installing on an operating system. Microsoft is asking, for example, on this Microsoft machine, you have UEFI, you have ACPI, but you don't have that on any Google phones, Google Pixel. Google should force them to install it, or you want to give them the access to, for example, Google Play, right? Have they ever done that? No, they're not doing that, right? Now we can see it here, so we have ACPI and UEFI, right? Which is exactly what we need. We need ACPI and UEFI. We've seen Microsoft's ACPI compliance system, Microsoft UEFI concurrent system. This is our machine, we need that. You don't have on a fucking Apple Silicon either. Apple doesn't care about you. Apple really don't. Apple sucks. Right, there's a reason that I feel so badly on Vision Pro. What Meta is doing much better. The fucking Meta Quest 3 just object better than fucking Vision Pro. You just don't understand, okay? Kids, you just don't understand. I think my microphone is probably fixing right now. Right, I'm using this phone. This microphone is Apple. These Apple AirPods, USB-C AirPods, and they sold it for $19 if you go to the Apple website. That's just showing you when Apple is doing that. That's showing you that the monopoly of Apple is nearly over. Or they won't be able to do that. They will continue squeezing people. You won't even see $599, $100 a Mac M4 Mac Mini. You won't even see that. Although they are still trying to fight tooth and nail and the side loading. For people who don't care about computing freedom and supporting fucking Linux. Linux is a problem right now. The Linux is a walled garden. Every Windows has UEFI. You can criticise Microsoft whatever you want, but Microsoft gave you the choice. They still gave you the choice, even on the ARM machine. You never have that on Linux machine, which is Android. Linus Torvalds was the one who refused TiVoization, right? Just refused to put GPL 3.0. And he's not suing people those companies who use it to not contributing the driver spec either, like these phone vendors. They're not contributing back the code either. They're not contributing back. Linus is doing anything positive? I've not seen that. I've seen none of them. Linux is just a dead house. For people who are just stupid, how evil Microsoft is, how good my fucking Linux is. I really want that they want to see a really new operating system that can just replace it. If I would have the time, I would do that. And I don't think the existing one could do that. Those are the fundamental flaws in different ways. They're outdated. Their security model is outdated. I think even the Android security model and iOS security model, they are outdated. I have a much better security model. The fucking microkernel or some bullshit. The entire thing is just broken. Windows, I'm just saying this v86, right? And I could use it with no problems, but I find even a Mac or Linux, none of them work correctly. Just for doing this virtual machine and thing, right? The Windows 95 thing. So, yeah, that's it. And I hope those. Another thing I want to say is that today Best Buy is selling the Surface laptop Surface Pro for Pro 11 and Surface laptop for $749. Okay, it's $749 and it's ended in 12 hours. Okay, Surface Pro 11 and Surface laptop. If you want to buy it, please go and buy it, okay? Don't trust Intel. Intel sucks. Intel really sucks. I'm not joking here. See the price here. You can go and buy it, okay? You won't regret it. Trust me, you won't regret it. The price is good enough. You won't regret it. The battery life is so good, right? The battery life is just so good. It's not a fan, just no fan, even with the translation. You still won't hear any fan noise. You will still have that on fucking Lunar Lake. Oh gosh, Lunar Lake, ultimate battery test. Gosh.
So I'll link the video down below. Now I've also used, and this definitely brought back some memories of using Intel-based laptops and having a persistent noise in my ear. After using silent machines for a few years, the fan noise really stuck out like a sore thumb. I even had to check the temperature to make sure the machine was okay, and at nearly 34 degrees Celsius, it's not terrible, but certainly a bit warmer than some of the other machines I have here. In any case, neither the noise nor the temperature are deal breakers. It's just something that only someone who tests a lot of laptops notices. More efficient than the Ryzen.
See, that's the bullshit part. The Lunar Lake is only 1/3 of my Surface Laptop 7. Not even Surface Laptop, right? It's just another X Plus laptop, not even a Surface laptop. And if you go high performance, it's only half. Okay, it's only half Surface laptop of this machine. This $749 machine. People just doesn't understand. Okay? They just do not understand. Let me check what the building is. It's still under the build. Let me check which one. I'm building RISC-V now. RISC-V is another terrible architecture. I just support it to prove a point, okay? Sometimes because sometimes I do need to just some bullshit. Some people just be fucking fan of RISC-V, but RISC-V will be another disaster. It won't get better. These vendors doesn't give a fuck about the sender, okay? Yes. Deep C++. Okay. That's it. This is about this streaming, and I wanted to learn something. I never listen to these people say, oh, Linux alarm is better. I don't see that. The issue you have with Linux alarm, you want to get solved on Linux alarm or Mac OS. Apple Silicon is still horseshit. You don't have bootcamp. Where's the bootcamp? Bootcamp is removed. There's no bootcamp. There's no UEFI. There's no ACPI on fucking Apple Silicon. That's absolutely Tim Cook's fault. Tim Cook sucks. Tim Cook really sucks. Apple was the one led the AI, right? They have the Siri in 2011. Where's the AI now? Now people can say, you have the AI hate. God. For people who hate the fucking AI, they just don't understand what's going on. Last time I just asked someone to change the password of sudo on our clinics. He couldn't check sudo. He used search engine. He couldn't do that. The search engine is so bad, full of ads. And I do that with Copilot within 20 seconds. You tell me it's useless. You kids